Hello and welcome to Bigskybits. I'm your host Colby, and today we'll be going over Bitcoin and what is happening in the world in regards to Bitcoin. So stay tuned as we go over today's and some of yesterday's top stories. First, we will start by talking about how no one has grabbed the money yet. I put up this money a few days ago. Your wallet might use different derivation paths. Try to check out different wallets or learn how you can explore different derivation paths to unlock that money. So I'd be very happy to see someone get it. And on that note, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. Head on over to the website or over to YouTube or Rumble, where we have tons of content available and more on the way. Moving on to the price. Currently, after our big pump and dump in relation to some of what President Trump said about a strategic crypto reserve, as you can see, this huge pump we had here, and all those gains were lost, coming back down. We're kind of at a crucial level right now. I kind of thought that level was right around 85 and 3/4, like 85,750. Right now we're sitting at right about 86, so maybe a hair above it, but still right in the meat of this level. I say to be safe, we'd really want to clear above this resistance, maybe solidly into the 90s. Realistically, anywhere here, even up to the top of this is 87. I could see us coming back down, and this could be a long journey down. Like we've said in previous videos, as we zoom out, let's go out to the 4-hour. This trajectory is just looking like we can continue down. Moving out to the 1 day, let's zoom out. I guess as long as we kind of hold above this 70,000, but like a lot of people have said, from this downward area, there's not a lot of support to hold us. So hopefully we see a big bounce back. Otherwise, like a lot of people have indicated, this could be a real choppy summer coming up. I think we're still going to have a long winter continuation. Maybe there's a Bitcoin groundhog and it saw its shadow or something like that. That means a longer winter. I have no idea. Or a longer sideways consolidation. But look at these massive wicks up and down when we're looking at it on a daily candle. That's just going to mess up almost everyone in these leverage positions. And that's an interesting market dynamic. Like, when you really look at what markets are capable of, they try to extract the most value from people and cause the most damage. And two monster wicks up and down like that definitely cause that. So I could see a little consolidation upward and then maybe another huge upward wick back into the 90, 100,000. And that would look great for it. So regardless of price, we're still in this choppy zone, probably on a downward trajectory. It's not looking great. With that, we'll move on. One thing I did see on Reddit that related kind of it, this guy showed a running ROI pattern. And when we zoom in here, you could make an argument for two real things, as most things in trading. That we're near a downward cycle and this whole graph is getting less mellow in it, or less extreme in its moves ups and down, and the ROI is approaching more constant, and we could shoot down with a shallower bottom and then shoot back up. And that's one argument to make. Other argument is to make that this is about 2-year cycle, this downward, out of this huge 4-year upward. So we could just be seeing one of these little dips like here or even here before a huge parabolic move up. I can see the argument for both. The diminishing returns argument, that this could be extreme variance. The argument that we are about to see a parabolic rise after this. And we'll just have to see what plays out. Personally, I'm not as much into the technical analysis as I am for the fundamental adoption. And we look at some of this fundamental adoption, I really think we are seeing interesting things happening, from Tether being adopted on Lightning to new nation states looking at it to sovereign wealth funds being set up. Whether or not I agree with the sovereign wealth fund idea, the idea that they could be investing in Bitcoin is a whole different concept. So I see adoption, especially in this last year. I really see a lot more adoption. And on that note, even in this last year, we saw a lot of small mining operations, lotto miners that were heaters. We saw a lot of different products aiming at a smaller mining capacity. So I think we're starting to see adoption on many levels. And one other interesting article right below that one on Reddit was this AI paying with Bitcoin, creating bots that automatically will do purchases or create transactions, and it can use a Bitcoin wallet for said transactions. It's an interesting concept. I don't know quite all the uses, but as he says, it makes payments over Lightning, uses euros. Not quite sure what they want to accomplish with it, but it is an interesting project nonetheless. Moving on, the Bitcoin ecosystem seems to be in a lot of turmoil as Trump brings it to the forefront, especially with launching some of these meme coins. I think he's showing the darker underbelly side of this world, and I think that's why a lot of the more Bitcoin maximalist people have adopted this concept of Bitcoin is not crypto. Crypto might encompass it all, but Bitcoin is not this. Because a lot of these projects that are so-called crypto projects are, in my opinion, dinos, decentralized in name only, and they don't provide any real utility or try to help us escape the problem that the current fiat system is imposing on us. So Bitcoin was born out of necessity, and a lot of people don't see that value that it provided because they've not been in that position. But others of us have been in that position to realize the value that Bitcoin does promise. And I also believe that the way the world is trending, one day we'll probably all need those valuable attributes that Bitcoin can provide. So we'll just have to let history play out and see what kind of happens. But I'm here because I believe preaching this is a good word, and I think we can make a difference in the world. And we don't have to accept the situation for what it is. We can look into it and analyze it and see if this system is actually helping the average person, or is it extracting value from the average person to help an elite few. Some people think that could be the other side of this, and that this is some Ponzi scheme. I would say look deeper, and I don't personally believe that at all. I see the value that Bitcoin adds, but that's for a different discussion on another day, because we could go on forever about that. Moving on over to X, there's an interesting thing, and I had heard earlier in the week about this, that Michael Saylor will be at the Digital Assets Summit in the White House, and that is supposed to be hosted by Donald Trump himself. Now, from hearing Donald Trump speak with Robert Kennedy Jr. at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, it was Nashville this year, not Miami, I can say for certain that Robert Kennedy understood Bitcoin and the aspects and what it's trying to do to free the world from some of the harms that the fiat system causes, where Trump, I felt, was more using it to appeal to a crowd. He knows that this crowd has a lot of pull, a lot of influence, a lot of people see the problems and can align more with some of Trump's ideologies, though many of it we don't align with. I saw him using it more as just a talking point, where Robert Kennedy seemed to understand it on a much deeper level. So there is that. I wonder how much of this is actually going to be taken to heart. I know he has some good people on his team that understand Bitcoin from a fundamental level. And I also know that he's invited a lot of grifters into the White House that want to scam and just make money and fleece the American public. And I don't want to name the companies or the entities, but if you're a centralized company that can control the way these assets are distributed or have any influence on that code of distribution and such, I just would caution us from getting involved in said products. A lot of these people are not good for the United States of America. A lot of these people do not have the average person's interest in hand, and that goes to the politician, and it goes back full circle to what we started the conversation about, and that we need to look deeper into this and why was Bitcoin created. It wasn't created for faster transactions. It wasn't because we have beef with Visa and MasterCard. It goes to a much deeper level, and it involves your government and the printing of money and the backing of that money. So with that, I hope everyone delves deeper into this topic. There's tons of great resources out there, tons of great books. If you're interested in those books, leave a like and a comment and tell me what books or what topics you want to discuss. And with that, I hope everyone has a great day and I hope Bitcoin continues to do well and the adoption phase continues. So, thank you much. Have a good one.